So, just a little fun fact, 250 years ago, on this very day, December 16th, the most wittiest writers was actually born. And if you haven't guessed already, it was Jane Austen. So, I don't know if you know this, I am not familiar with Jane Austen. The only book that I've ever read was actually, I got it right here, Pride and Prejudice, as I'm sure many people have reread over maybe 100 times even, which is not an exaggeration. I feel like there's so many people that love and adore this book so much that they read it. I guess I can't say every year because that would mean that they've lived up to a very old age. But I feel like this is a book that they have over and over again. And even if they're not reading it actively, they're like listening to it over like audio or something. So yeah, this is the only book that I've read, unfortunately. But I do have 4 of the books that she did publish during the time that she was alive, which she started off with this one, Sense and Sensibility. This was her very first book. And then after this book, she actually published the well-known and loved version of Pride and Prejudice, and then after Pride and Prejudice, I believe it was Mansfield Park, which it's not really known or loved or talked about book of hers, which I don't know. I do have this one. I picked it up at a thrift store. I saw the name Jane Austen, and then I knew I just had to have it because I'm building my collection, and why not? Also, I really love this gorgeous cover of this portrait. I'm not exactly sure what the synopsis, the plot is, but if it's Jane Austen, I know it's going to be very funny, very humorous, very witty, like I said, and just a true delight to be able to just, dive into something like that. So hopefully next year, 6 is when I expand my knowledge of Jane Austen. But last book that she published during her time alive was actually Emma. This is a very terrible copy. I feel so bad because there's so much water damage, because this is actually the book that's by my window. So whenever it rains, this is the book that protects all the other books. So Emma is really going through it, but I do appreciate that it's still a very beautiful cover. It's from the vintage collection, and yeah, so maybe if you're like in between books, or if you're deciding not what book should I read next, maybe this could be like, ooh, you know what, Jane Austen, haven't really read much about her, so why not, I don't know. But yeah, that's